Good morning, and hello to all you holy evangelists, primary school pupils, and your parents or your homeschool teachers. This Thursday challenge is for very brave children and parents to take on. It's a poetry challenge, and I'm going to start it off by reading one of my favourite poems from one of my favourite poets about an organisation that I think you'll all agree is doing a very, very important job right at the minute, the NHS. And the poem is called These Are the Hands. It's by Michael Rosen. These are the hands that touch us first, that fill your head, find the pulse, and make your bed. These are the hands that tap your back, test the skin, hold your arm, wheel the bin, change the bulb, fix the drip, pour the jug, replace your hip. These are the hands that fill the bath, mop the floor, flick the switch, soothe the sore. Burn the swabs, give us a jab, throw out the sharps, design the lab. And these are the hands that stop the leaks, empty the pan, wipe the pipes, carry the can, clamp the veins, make the cast, log the dose, and touch us last. So that poem was written by Michael Rosen about the NHS, which is currently having a massive struggle trying to save as many lives as possible, including, as it happens, the writer of that poem, Michael Rosen, is someone who contracted this COVID-19, this virus that's going around. And he's in recovery now, and hopefully he's going to get better. But I've been thinking about poetry, thinking how difficult poetry is, but thinking also how poetry during difficult times can be a great help. I'll give you a wee example. There's a country far, far away, about as far away as you can get from here. It's a country called New Zealand, and they have a very inspirational leader who's saved a lot of lives by acting really quickly and decisively in trying to combat this disease. Her name is Jacinta Ardern, and she wrote a poem to try to cheer up all the people in her country who are on lockdown, the same as us. And I'm not going to read that poem out because it's very long, but maybe if you want to look it up, you can look it up and have a go at reading it. It's quite difficult, but your challenge is not to write such a difficult poem as Michael Rosen's or Jacinta Ardern's. Your challenge has got two parts. The first part is if you are maybe key stage 1, P2, P3, P4, it's simply just to find a poem that you really love and to read the poem out. And the poem can be about anything, and but it's all about just trying to find a poem, something that you that touches you, that moves you, that makes you happy, that makes you makes you feel emotions, and read it out. The second part of the challenge is a little bit more challenging. It's for sort of braver pupils, maybe some of the year 7s, some of the year 6s, some of the year 5s, maybe who are really interested in writing. And it is to create your own poem. But writing poems is hard. So what I've decided to do is to give you a little bit of a structure to work from. And I'm going to suggest a structure which might help you. The structure of the poem that I want you to follow is just that each line in your poem has two words. And the first word should be a noun, which, as most of you know, particularly in Key Stage 2, a noun is a person, place, or thing. And the second word is also a noun, but it is a verb which has been turned into a noun by adding two letters at the end, er. I'll give you an example. Say, for example, dream. Dream is a word which can be a noun because you can have a dream, but it can also be a verb. If you talk about someone dreaming, then that's something they're doing, so it becomes a verb. And it can turn back into a noun again if you take the verb version of dream and add er and turn it into a dream. So you can have a dream dreamer, and that could be a line in your poem. It's actually called a Kenning's poem. And all it is a poem made up of two word lines, a noun, and then a noun ending in er. And you can have one line, you can have 5 lines, you can have 10 lines, and it follows that structure. And it doesn't necessarily have to follow that structure. If you think of a better way of doing it, or you think of words and they're not nouns, they're verbs or they're adverbs or whatever, but you like them, then you should be able to put them in. But this is just something that you can follow. It's supposed to make the process of writing poems a little bit easier. And it also gives the poem like a good rhythm, which is what language is all about, really, and what poetry is all about. It's about saying things in an interesting way that makes us remember and makes us feel what it is that the person who wrote the poem is trying to make us feel. So I don't believe that, particularly for something quite difficult like this, I don't believe that you should ask anybody to do anything without doing it yourself. So I wrote my own poem as an example, which you might follow. And you can take some of my ideas if you want, or you can come up with your own. So I've got the poem written down here. It took me 5 minutes. It's not as if I was thinking about it all day or anything. It hasn't got a name. It's called Mr. Mullins' NHS Appreciation Poem, and it's a Kennings poem. And you'll notice that it's got a noun and a noun and a noun and a noun on every line. So here we go. I'm going to read it out. I have to find my brave. Okay, I found it. Here we go. Okay, so Mr. Mullins' NHS poem, Kennings poem. Shift worker, bedside lurker, cure trier, secret crier, family owner, relative phoner, headline follower, anger swallower, chart paper, seldom sleeper, mask wearer, face bruiser, loving carer, vocation chooser, ethnic mixer, Boris fixer, life saver, break time raver, bed maker, risk taker, brow mopper, pain stopper, hero beer, rainbow seer, death curser, sky upholder, doctor nurser when you're older. Okay, so that is it. So remember what the challenge is. The challenge is either to find a poem that you love and just read it out. You can read it out to the camera and send in a video. You can read it to your parents. You can read it to your little brother or your sister. You can read it across the fence to your neighbours. Or if you're feeling very, very brave, you can look up what a Kennings poem is and try to create your own. And your Kennings poem could be 2 lines long. It could be 20 lines long. But try to make it about the NHS or about anybody who's inspiring you and helping you out during this time of lockdown, which one day will be over. So goodbye. See ya.